Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you? So I am Bernadette Henry, and I am here to talk to you. You see the title, Why Your Unresolved Issues Are Getting in the Way of Your Weight Loss Progress, okay? And we are going to make this one really snappy, okay? So why am I here talking about this? Because I am in contact with a lot of women that are in their 40s that have this goal to lose weight, right? And the reasons may vary. People want to lose weight for different reasons. And each person's reason is their own. But I'm not really here to talk to you about how to lose weight. I'm here to talk to you about how some of your unresolved issues are stopping you from achieving this goal. Okay. Now, a lot of times we hear a lot of the common reasons for losing of why we don't lose weight, which we may hear, okay, you had a couple of kids, or you're not drinking enough water, you're not getting enough sleep, you're eating too much food, you're doing too little exercise, um, you're drinking too much alcohol, and these are some of the common reasons that we hear why we may not be losing weight. But guess what? Some people are doing all the right things and they're still having a problem. So, one of the most underlying issues of why women, especially in their 40s, may have a hard time is due to stress. Okay. Stress is a huge reason why people are not or can't lose weight. And I'll give you an example. Back in 2017, right, I was stressed due to finances. I had kids to support. I just had a whole household, and the way the dynamics worked, it put me at that place where I had to do what I had to do for the family. And even though I have, or I'm building a brand or a business, I didn't have faith and confidence in myself that I can just sit here and work and then grow, but rather I went out and got a second job. And the way this job was, I was working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and then I was working Tuesday through Saturday, 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. And that means, no, I was working, yes, Saturday through Tuesday, 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. And that was not a good schedule at all. So with this schedule, I wasn't sleeping right. My sleeping habits were poor. I wasn't eating right because guess what? I was so tired. I was so out of my mind. I didn't want to cook. I just had to grab whatever. And then even though I was up during the day a lot of times, at night when you're working overnight and you have to stay up the whole time, you think that you're hungry when you're really not. But because you're up, it's like, oh my God, I'm hungry. And that's why we have breakfast. Break the fast from when we sleep to when we wake up, because the time that we're sleeping to the time we wake up is usually the longest period that we go without eating. And that's why we're so hungry when we wake up in the morning and we want to eat, right? So I was eating, my eating habits were all over the place. I was not exercising. And all of this was stressful. And just imagine working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then overlapping Saturday through Tuesday, 12 to 8. So it's like at some days I was kind of leaving one job, coming home, not sleeping, going to the next job, and then on other times, it was like I was going from one job directly into the next job. So very stressful. And then as a result, I started having health issues. So here come the high blood pressure, here come the pre-diabetes. As a result of the stress related issues, having to work those two jobs to support my family, in a time of need. All right. So that's my little stress story. And not to say that even though we live life is going to be full of stresses, okay? And just like no matter what we do, we cannot avoid it, but it's a matter of how we deal with it, or how we process or put that stress, what kind of category we put it in. So of course you're going to have your regular stresses that may come along with being married or having kids, or the bit of stress you may have at your job, right? But we usually come up with a way to manage these things, but it's sometimes things that kind of go beyond our control that we're just like, okay, what's going on? Okay. So let's get to why stress can affect your weight loss progress. First of all, stress causes your metabolism to slow down, okay? And as a result of stress, you have certain behaviors that are not even going to align with your weight loss processes. So things so when you may have depression as a result of your stress, you may be depressed. Okay, you may eat too much food because you're emotionally eating. You may not even have motivation, so you know you need to eat right or exercise or drink more water, but because your mindset and your emotions are not in a good space, you're just like, okay, I can't. You're not even mentally there. Or if you know you need to go outside and take a walk, you're not even going to be motivated to take a walk because you're stressed. Okay, you're boggled down with that stress. You may eat more fast food than usual. You may drink more than usual because of the stress. Okay, so now let's get to the point of this broadcast, which is unresolved issues. Why your unresolved issues are getting in the way. So a lot of us, we've had lives, right? And some of us had a lot of issues. I tell you, I've had some issues, when I was younger. And some of these issues can look like alcohol use. Some of these things could look like drug use. Some of these things could look like um, depression. Some of these things could look like being an overwhelmed mom. Some of these things could look like anxiety. Some of these things look like a lot of different things, right? And a lot of these issues can come as a result of some issues that we had way back when. Those things that happened that you try to like bury down, like, okay, this ain't nothing. I got over it. I am over it. But sometimes what happens is as we go along, we think everything is going fine until something in one moment just triggers it. And you're just like, oh my God, like I thought I got rid of this. Like, where in the world did this come from and how did it come up? Because a lot of times, no matter how far you try to bury things, they're never ever gone. Okay. And it's like the little simplest thing that can sit there and trigger some kind of issue that you thought you buried. So now, when you're holding on to unresolved issues, right, you're holding on to baggage. When you're holding on to unresolved issues, you're holding on to baggage. And what does baggage do? It weighs you down. Okay. It's kind of like that thing, that nagging thing that you just cannot get away from you because you're just going to be pulling it everywhere you go. And even every time you think that you've shaken it off, it's right there. It's right there. Wait, and it's like you cannot get rid of it. So the only thing that you can do to get rid of the baggage is to work through it. Is to okay. Now you sitting there trying to repress it. It's not. You're welcome, Jay Ricky. You trying to like push it under the rug or you trying to throw it in the garbage, it's always going to find itself here, until you actually deal with it. It's kind of like the same concept with the weight that you're trying to lose, right? So when you go on a fitness or a weight loss journey, what do? You start to eat better. You start to drink water. You start to exercise. So you're doing the things, you're taking the action step to get rid of the weight, right? So that's basically what your unresolved issues are. Your unresolved issues is weight. It's weight that you refuse to let go. And in order to work through it, you have to do some things. Maybe you have to go seek therapy. Maybe you need a life coach. Maybe you need to find some, other stress relieving methods, journaling or exercising or doing something that's going to help you with releasing this baggage. But with these unresolved issues, you have to deal with it. Okay. No matter what it looks like, you're going to have to deal with some kind of professional or go through some kind of process in order to see your way through. You cannot continue to hold on to these things and think that you're going to be okay because you're not. And the more you hold on to these issues, right, these unresolved issues, the more or the less motivated you're going to be to even be in the right frame of mind to say, hey, okay, I can do this. I'm in the right mind frame to maybe go exercise, or I'm in a right mind frame to go eat the right food, or I'm in the right mind frame to go get water. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get rid of whatever those issues you have that are boggling you down, because they're going to continue to boggle you down even though you're okay. Just like that extra weight you're carrying, you may think it's okay because it's just like, okay, maybe I'm big boned and maybe this is how things are supposed to be. But if your mindset, if you're emotional, if you're jacked up in the game, you ain't gonna be like in that mood. It's just not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So you have to deal with the issues because they will not go anywhere. And when they don't go anywhere, you're not going to be in that mind frame to do what you got to do. So I invite you, like, if there are some things that you are dealing with, or if you just need to talk to somebody, I'm here. I'm here because you cannot keep going like this, the way that you're going, thinking it's going to work, because it's not. I'm just going to tell you, it's not going to work. Like, look at back when I was sitting there working, like I told y'all earlier in this live, when I was working that second full-time job, because I thought I didn't even have confidence in myself to do and grow and build my business, which of course could have made more money than that second job anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have these stresses and you just kind of let them bog you down. And I ended up getting to a breaking point where it was like, it was either, I don't know. I think it would have almost been like my life, because I was like deliriously tired of my mind. And I had to get to a point where I was just like, look, I cannot do this no more. And I made up my mind and I had to quit. I had to quit one of the jobs because I was like, something got to give. Like, I'm just going to have to struggle or do whatever I have to go through. But I like, it's not worth me like losing my life or my sanity over like providing for a family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the same way that those unresolved issues will bog you down. It's either you're going to work through it or they're going to take you out. They're going to drag you down. And you have to deal with it. Okay. So that's all I have to say. But like I said, if you need to have somebody to hold you accountable to deal with these issues so that you can get on your wellness journey, I'm here. Okay. I coach overwhelmed moms manage their mental and emotional wellness so that they can live to the highest level of their self-care for themselves and their child. Like, what are you going to be if you're not here and here? Like, you're never going to get here together. So that's all I have. If does anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you don't feel comfortable, just send me a message on Instagram. You can send me a DM. YouTube and Facebook, you can send me. Well, YouTube, you can check my email address on my other videos. Um, Facebook, you could just send me a DM. But I would love to have a conversation with you to find out like what's going on, like what's really holding you down, and the steps that you're taking to resolve that so that you can, live to the highest level of your self-care and other areas of your life. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this stream. And if it has helped you, be sure to share this with someone so that they can get this message too, and so that they can go ahead and live their best life too. All right, y'all. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Love you much, and I'll talk to y'all soon.